Food shortage reports for October of 2023. Let's discuss. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another Coffee Rant with Dano. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are drinking 100% Colombian Kroger coffee. I gotta say, it's pretty good. Not as good as the Great Value. I've grown to really like the Great Value coffee, 100% Colombian. It is really good. But I wanted to mention here, a lot of people have been talking about these on the channel here. This is a Keurig cup, right, that you can buy the ground and fill it up. Fill it up in your little container here. Close it, put it in your Keurig. Coffee's done in seconds. Love it. Anyway, let's get to it. Usually they're not cheap. They're usually like $3.99 for one of these. Sometimes you might be able to find a deal maybe on Amazon. But anyway, let's get right into it here, guys. We got a lot to talk about today. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe down below. We do these videos every day to try and help keep you in the know in the grocery stores. Any way we can help save you on food in the grocery stores, we try to do that as much as humanly possible. And that is hard to do these days with prices going through the roof as they are all rising again. But today we are talking about food shortages that are showing their ugly faces here in October of 2023, and all of these that we're going to be talking about are things that I have seen personally, things we have seen in previous videos, and what you guys have been telling us on the channel here. So, we got a comment the other day. Someone had said a couple different stores in Texas. I believe you said Dallas, Texas. A couple different shortages of meat. We've had others chime in throughout Texas. Some of our longtime viewers say they haven't seen shortages on beef per se, but have been seeing some shortages on chicken. Okay, and one of those stores, I think it's Heb. I know that's a popular store down in Texas. So we want to keep an eye out for that. It also, make sure you let us know, just abbreviate what city you're in Texas, so you can help out some of our neighbors here in Texas and let them know, what store you're not finding them in. So, or what town it's in. But anyway, moving on to the next one here. That's been the only one of shortage of beef down in the South. We have gotten a couple comments, one from a longtime viewer in Pennsylvania saying that they've been finding all kinds of shortages on different meat products. You said meat products. I really didn't know if you meant beef or chicken. Make sure you let us know down in the comments. We are getting more and more comments on rice shortages. We said this was going to happen. And it's not too surprising the areas where we're getting the comments. California, even some in New York City. Lots of different nationalities, lots of different races of people. Like, we have Chinese, we have Latino, we have all different groups of people all over the country. But I think why we're hearing a lot of these out on the East and West Coast is because there's basically a lot more people on the East and West Coast than there are here in the center of the United States. So we are getting more and more comments from the city area. Someone also chimed in from upstate New York, and we've gotten a few comments from California and Arizona. One of our viewers who has moved from California to Arizona. We've been getting a lot of subscribers from Arizona lately. Thank you all for being part of the adventure here as we go along in the stores. It's crazy, guys. It really is. We said this was going to happen. We've been talking about it. More and more people have been commenting on things. Surprisingly, there's a couple things I want to talk about here that seem to be in common with all over the country right now. A lot of people have been talking about fresh mushrooms and fresh carrots. I don't know. Okay, so we've been getting more and more comments on these. Some of our older videos that we've done, I did a video a couple weeks ago where we went into Kroger Marketplace and it was like empty on fresh mushrooms. Just looked really weird. Saw a lot of inconvenient stickers, and it just looked bad. It was like, something's up with this. And then we saw carrots. Now, we have seen carrots come back in at Kroger Marketplace, but in that video, we've gotten more and more comments people who just joined the channel here who have watched that video, and they have been talking about not being able to find carrots and canned carrots. Now, we're having issues apparently with different canned items. One of those is beets. Beets seems to not an issue around here, but we're getting comments from people who are looking for canned beets and pickled beets. Pickled beets, I guess, have been crazy hard to come in. I did see some at Meyer yesterday. I pointed them out. And I also mentioned Big Lots. Big Lots is a place we're going to start visiting more and more of these other stores to find outlets because they are other options. You know, different places like Ollie's. Ollie's Bargain Outlet, they're good for things like that. Sometimes we can find little hidden gems at Ollie's. Same with Big Lots. I know, like, when I first started the channel, I would go to Big Lots and people were like, why are you shopping there? Well, there were products that were gone in the stores and we were finding them at Big Lots. We had the same thing when we were talking about shopping at Target. It's like, well, places that weren't traditionally having some of these products, we were telling people where to find them. Walmart was a big one back then. A couple years ago, we were leading a lot of people to Walmart, which apparently, if you remember, there were rice shortages then too, and the big one was dry beans. I know if you've been here for a long time, if you've been on the channel a couple of years, you remember back when when we were doing videos at Walmart, it was like you couldn't find dry beans anywhere. I mean, there were a lot of shortages a couple years ago due to other things like the pandemic and stuff like that. Now we're having issues with exports, imports, you know, and before I even say anything here about this, because I did want to talk about this here for a second. All of our thoughts and prayers are with everyone in Israel and everything going on right now. It's crazy. They are having war there, and what I want to say about this is the more and more we get involved with it, prices are gonna go up. Something else, if there's another bell to ring in your head that I need to prepare a little bit more, this should be it. We're always talking about preparation on the channel here and making sure you're stocking up on the sales as we see them. So this is something that it's like anytime we have things go on like this, you know, prices are going to go up. They're going to go up. We could see a huge increase in gas prices if things go wrong. And I'm not going to go into a lot of it. A lot of you guys have been mentioning this in the comments, but a lot of it is true. And, you know, we have to at least assume, you know, if we pray for the best, plan for the worst, right? Pray for peace, prepare for war, right? I mean, that's a saying that's been around for generations and generations, you know. So it's like if you're able to set aside some funds each week or every month to help yourself, you know, stock up a little bit, whether that's at Dollar Tree. I know a lot of our viewers shop at Dollar Tree because a lot of people these days, they can't afford to go do a major haul at a grocery store. They're living day to day. I've been there. And we've gone over this on the channel. I'm not going to harp on that. I want to get back to some of the shortages, but just wanted to mention that we have this event happening here that could add to the already heavy prices that we're paying, not just at the grocery stores, but everywhere else. Someone left a comment the other day on clothing, how you've noticed clothing has been going up in price. I have noticed that as well. Now, we cover a lot of different things with food on the channel and stuff like that, but clothing, materials for clothing, some people have said are changing. Now, I haven't really noticed that, but I'm not like searching for particular types of clothing and stuff like that. Some people say quality's getting cheaper. It's not, you know, it's not what it used to be. Things are falling apart. Again, this is what we've heard from subscribers and our viewers, not something that I have noticed myself. But going back to the food, you know, and people are the reason why I mention that as well is because people are saying a lot of the quality in food products is changing. I completely agree. So when we talk about food shortages, I feel like we can't go and talk about that without talking about some of the things that are missing from some of the products that we buy every day. One of those being, you know, if you buy a canned good of like chicken noodle soup, how much chicken is really in it anymore? Most of you know that I used to love the Healthy Choice canned goods. It used to be really delicious. They've changed it. It's not the same. Those Kitchen Classics by Campbell's, it's like, yeah, they're charging the same price, but I quit buying them because it was like there would be like one piece of chicken. one piece of chicken in it. There was literally one piece of chicken in one of the cans I had. I had an extra can and there was like 3 or 4 pieces, but it was like, I'm not going to be paying these prices for these because now at $1.25, those aren't worth it. They may still be $1 at Dollar General, but I'm over it. I'm still not going to get them because if you're not going to give me nothing but broth and one little piece of chicken, me and Jessica, this is our favorite time of the year. And I know there's been people asking, if we would do some different fall food cooking and stuff like that. And we're going to. We're just in an event right now where we have to get this information out. And the more and more we grow, the more and more input you guys put into the channel here, the more and more we have to discuss these things so that we're ready. Remember a few years ago, we were all caught off guard, right? A lot of people, it was like things were gone. Empty shelves everywhere. If you go back a couple years and watch our videos, you will see for yourself everything that we were seeing or not seeing. But me and Jessica do plan on doing some different meals. Let us know down in the comments what are some of your favorite fall meals. We are into fall and, the different pies and soups. I made a big pot of that vegetable soup the other day. I'll leave that recipe for my vegetable soup down in the description box below. So if you're watching this video, if you click more, it'll take you down to where it shows the description of the video, and there will be a link right there to where you can click on it. You can watch my vegetable soup. So a lot of people who are new to the channel, like, I do it a different way. Jessica is not super picky, but she's a little bit picky on things. She's not real big on onions or celery or a couple other things. But there are things that I do in our vegetable soup that still gives the flavor because she loves the flavor, just not the texture of some of these things. So it's an interesting video. I'll try to leave it here in a window where you can just click on that video at the end of this. But anyway, moving on. It's delicious though. We're going to be doing our chicken and dumplings, everything. But we're going to try and add some new meals. I don't want to just keep making the same videos on the same meals all the time. But a lot of that stuff is coming. But so with the carrot thing, there's been some others. We've gotten a couple. Somebody had commented off of that comment, which was about a couple weeks ago. Whole potatoes in the can. Some people have been saying that they've been disappearing across the country. Now, some of these places, this is why I always say abbreviate your city and state if you want to. I understand. Like, if you're just leaving a quick comment, just, that's perfectly fine. We're all discussing these things together. Our YouTube family is coming together here. We thank you all for that. So even if you don't have time, you don't have to abbreviate your city and state. Just let us know what's going on. But it does help me to be able to calculate kind of where these things are happening and how we can try to avoid spending the extra gas and stuff like that. All the little simple things that we can do to save money, that's what we try to provide, that valuable information for you and us. It helps us too. We're helping everybody save money at the same time. You guys are helping us save money. So with whole potatoes in the can, it's been an issue. I will say, if you have an Aldi, I haven't seen any shortages on the canned potatoes at Aldi, and I saw them at Meijer yesterday. I didn't point it out in the video. Somebody was saying Kroger was having some shortages of their canned vegetables. Now, I am going to Kroger tomorrow to check out some of the new sales. And if you want the Dano preview of the week here, it's looking like 99-cent Progresso soups. 99 cents. Thank you to all of our longtime viewers who actually mentioned that for us. So that's a good sale. We're going to check all that stuff out for you. Try to save you as much money as we can. I know we have a lot of Progresso fans on the channel here. So that's a great deal. So great deal. So a little bit of a preview here. And carrots. We mentioned the canned carrots. Okay. And there was, okay. I have a theory about the potatoes. So one thing that we notice when we see shortages of canned goods, we'll notice that there are shortages of ingredients. Okay. So Kroger and many other stores, I just say Kroger because that's the one we can all relate all across the country. If they're having trouble getting these certain ingredients for things, well, then they're going to put that to the side until they're able to get it. Some places in the country, we've been hearing of some major shortages of potatoes. Now, I was at Meijer yesterday, and I didn't mention this in the video, but it was a lot lower than it normally is. Kroger has been a lot lower than it normally is. They're still getting them in, but we have gotten comments from Mississippi, from Michigan. Michigan, I'll tell you what, of all the states that seem to have the most issues with food shortages of things that we've been talking about has been Michigan. Arizona seems like they're dealing with a lot as well. So, and I know some people, it may not be where you live, but it could be right down the street or another city over where they're dealing with the issues. Could be a truck problem, could be transportation problem. Either way, some places just aren't getting things in. And potatoes seem to have been an issue. And there are some other people who've chimed in, but you didn't leave your state, so I don't really know where they are. But some people were saying shortages of potatoes as well. And that makes sense because we've seen potato prices go through the roof. And I know some people were saying they were getting 5-pound bags of potatoes for $1.99. If they're coming in your city and state, that's awesome, and I'm happy for you, and that's good. Hopefully, some of the other products, but that could also be why you're seeing price increases on canned goods of these things because they may not be coming from the fresh farm that is right next door to you. It's coming from Del Monte, who is shipped, from wherever Del Monte canned potatoes are from. Now, again, we've been seeing them at Aldi, but what I failed to mention before, someone did leave a comment about the whole potatoes. It's been a couple weeks, but they were saying how they weren't able to find them there. Also, canned mushrooms. Now, I saw plenty of canned mushrooms at Meijer yesterday, but we've been getting more and more comments on canned mushrooms being in short supply. Aldi being one of them as well. And I know we have a few viewers on the channel here that love the canned Aldi mushrooms, and they're fairly cheap. Well, cheaper, even Aldi's getting crazy in prices these days. No stone unturned as far as how these prices just continue to go up. Yesterday at Meijer, I literally I try not to let it get to me anymore. But when I go into a place and I start seeing it, it's like once you see it, you can't unsee it. It just, everything is going up at Meijer. We saw that at Walmart. I think I was a little more disturbed by seeing this at Walmart than I was Meijer. I've expected it to happen at Meijer. I have expected it. We've all expected it to happen at Walmart. But so many products at once is the issue here. Because usually we'll find, okay, this group of things, okay, meat went up this week along with these canned goods and these things. Now it's like this past week was like a train wreck of different things that have gone up in price. Massive amount of things that have gone up in price. Now, I understand everybody doesn't have Meijer. We shop at Meijer a lot. And I'll tell you, a lot of the stuff at Meijer is getting pretty expensive. We're seeing Meijer kind of do the Kroger thing where they're putting low price on stickers, yet it's not on sale, just like Kroger. And then we'll see the next week that price go up. So in a way, it is sort of a good thing because you see low price on something, it kind of makes the brain think that this is going to be going up in price. Sometimes we've seen at Kroger where that doesn't happen, but usually I would say 90 to 95% of the time when Kroger puts a low price on something, here shortly it's going to be going up in price. So it's something to keep in mind. Some of the other shortages, somebody mentioned asparagus. Now, a couple people did. A couple people mentioned asparagus. If one person did, I would just think like, okay, well, that's, you'll probably get it next week. But I noticed like later on in a different video too, it wasn't that somebody had just mentioned that, it was in a different video, they had mentioned asparagus as well. We haven't seen any issues with asparagus, but we have seen the prices go through the roof. $3.99 a pound now everywhere. We saw it for $3.79 on sale at Meijer per pound. But that's what happens, guys. And this is what we always talk about. Like when you see shortages of these things, some of this does, it's like some of this could be a very short while. And then when it comes back in, it's at a crazy price. Crazy price. I mean, this was just $3.19 a pound. We saw apples at Meijer go from $5.19 a pound. We are not even through the third of fall yet. And we saw those apple prices, those 3-pound apples for the cheapest apples, Gala, Fuji, Granny Smith's kind of funny. Those are skyrocketing in a lot of stores. But we saw them go from $5.19. They were $5.49. We saw them drop down to $5.19 for the 3-pound bags. Okay. And then what did that last? 2 weeks? And now they're up to $5.59 for a 3-pound bag. Now they got in a ton of these extra tote things, which are having sales for 79 cents a pound, but they're not the ones we get comments on constantly, like Gala, Red Delicious. Actually, there's these one apples there. They're Empire apples. I know we got some good comments on them. I will say, though, they were overly greeny. You know what I mean? Like half of them are red, and then the other half's like that dark green. Like they're not ready yet. So if you buy them, you may, find a cool, dry place for them to sit for a while and just let them kind of go for a little while before you eat them, because they did not look good. They did not look very tasty. But the ones that are looking tasty are $2.19 a pound, right? So if you want to pick your own now to ensure that you get the best apple possible, at least at Meijer, $2.19 a pound. $3.19 a pound for Honeycrisp. We've seen those come down some because they were $3.49 a pound. But anyway, back to some of the shortages. Excuse me. Oh, we got to take a little sip of coffee here again. I hope you got your coffee together here so you can have coffee with us. I didn't say my usual hit pause at this on this video to get your coffee together. A lot of this stuff's been building up. I've been jotting a lot of notes down, everything that people have been talking about here, just to get these out here as fast as we could. That is good coffee. It really is. I think I'm just liking the 100% Colombian again. It's been a while since I've had the 100% Colombian. Again, my mom drinks the Folgers. I love Folgers, but I save the Folgers to drink with her when I go to her place and stuff like that. That way it's always like really nice. You take a little bit of a break from it, and it's kind of tradition, I guess, in a way. Anyway, coffee, I believe, is going to be an issue. Now, we've been seeing prices go up on coffee, but we saw where Walmart has gotten rid of like half of their products of coffee. Now, I will say a lot of the stuff that our Walmart at least got rid of was stuff that is traditionally more expensive, or maybe the stuff that the most people don't buy. They still got Death Wish coffee, which I thought was kind of funny because that always seems full at Walmart. And I'd like to try some of the Death Wish coffee. Maybe add that into a coffee rant here at some point. But anyway, I think we're going to be seeing some shortages of coffee. We're seeing the aisles condense. Okay, we're seeing the aisles condense. And when that happens, there's a reason for it. It could be one of two things. One, people just aren't buying enough coffee here. We don't want to put it all on our shelf, which is probably a lot of the reason for a lot of different stores. Walmart's been doing refurbishments and stuff like that. However, we're seeing it in other stores as well. Meijer has condensed theirs. Now it's been like this for a little while, but now they have their canisters right there next to Folgers, and then you have Maxwell House right here. All three in line with each other, and more of the Meijer than we've ever seen before. And Meijer's prices have gone up as well. So it's either one of two things. You may see some shortages of coffee, which we know that's been a big thing going on. Big thing going on, and that has to do with some exporting as well. Some places are keeping a lot of their different coffee beans to be able to provide for their own country. And it's kind of like the thing with India. That's why they're keeping a lot of their rice, because they want to be able to provide for their people. And I understand, and I know a lot of people have said this too. A lot of the people or people have said a lot of Americans don't use different rice from India. Well, that's simply not true. We've talked about this before, but I saw some comments, so I thought I'd just talk about this for a second. We've seen, America is full of different people. We have people from India that live here. We have people from China that live here. We have people that use rice in their daily diets, right? So, no, we are using this rice. That's why we're getting runs on it. We saw back a little over a month ago, there were some massive runs. One in Dallas again, one of our viewers, the same viewer who was talking about the beef, sent me a little video, or a couple pictures of people who were panic buying rice in Dallas. Now, again, this has been a couple months ago, but we've gotten more comments in areas like Arizona, California, New York City. And I'm getting more and more comments that they're seeing runs on different rice. We haven't seen any huge price increases, though, and that's what's kind of funny. It's awesome. I think it's awesome. I mean, however they're able to keep these prices down, I don't know what they're doing. But I haven't seen any increases on it at Sam's. We have seen a couple increases at Kroger, but we always do at Kroger. I didn't check Meijer, but theirs is usually right about the same price. So as to where and that could be to come. That could be to come. We're still into that second month of that export ban, right? Second, maybe into the third month here of that export ban. We might not see any major effects of that for 5 to 6 months or longer. They were even saying it could get a lot worse at the beginning of 2024. So just to keep that in mind, now you have a little bit of time to save a little bit of money on different bags of rice, right? As the prices seem to be staying level, we haven't gotten a ton of comments on major rice increases. So that's funny. So we always say price increases, rice increases. But, you know, it's something that's coming. It's definitely coming. The price is going to go up. We've seen it. We saw about a year and a half ago, or like what we were talking about when we were seeing a lot of empty shelves in a lot of different stores. That's what it was. It was rice and dry beans. What happened? We saw Kroger blow up overnight in prices on dry beans. Rice kind of lagged for a little while, but it was one of the slow creepers. It was one of the slow price increases that would go up 10, then a couple weeks later 20 cents, and then 30 cents, and now we're here where we are, and it's kind of leveled off a little bit. Dry beans, it was like, boom! It was like everywhere, like $2.50 for a pound of beans. It's ridiculous prices, $2.39. You know, and it stayed there, but we saw that massive increase. I'm almost more nervous of the slow price increases than I am the big ones. However, with dry beans, we haven't seen it come down. It has stayed that price. Usually when we see the steady 10, 20 cent price increases, those are the ones that we won't see come down anymore. Or if we do, we'll just have to get it on sale. Remember with the eggs? Now that was a different thing though. With the eggs, it was the bird flu, stuff like that. That was the major cause of that. But that just went right up, and then it came right down. I guess I really can't compare a lot of this to that though, because that was like a different kind of event. But similar, but as far as I know, after being in these stores every day checking prices, dry beans has been the one that's been like, it's skyrocketed in price, but it hasn't gone up since then. And it's been probably a year and a half since we saw that shocking event where we just saw dry beans go up like crazy. But some of the other things, some people have been mentioning coffee creamers, stuff like that. These things we just have to point out every day or as we come across them, right? Because these things come and go. We saw last year where International Delight coffee creamer was gone. Couldn't find it anywhere. We found a couple of the holiday ones that they brought out, and then those were gone like the next day. Now, Coffee Mate, the dairy creamer, like the cold creamer, people were buying those up because International Delight was gone. And we were seeing Coffee Mate just all kinds of different sales. We were seeing the big jugs that they overcharge $8 for at Kroger. We were seeing those for $5.99 and stuff like that. People were buying them up. Let's see. We have, I think that might be it for the update here until the 10th of October, right? And we will be bringing updates as we go along. Make sure you let us know. Make sure you post down in the comments some of the things that you are seeing missing. Pasta, all the regulars that we've talked over the last month or so kind of left out of this video, but I'll quickly mention pasta here because it is a big issue. It seems like it's all over the country. People everywhere are talking about it. Some people are saying they have a lot of pasta. Well, good. Buy up some while you have the opportunity. This is your opportunity to win, you know, and you might wait until you find a good sale on it. But you may want to buy up a few because a lot of people, hundreds and hundreds of people, are experiencing pasta shortages all around the country here. Now, it does seem like some more of our store brands are coming in. I saw where Aldi, the Regano spaghetti that everybody likes, saw that it was completely full the last time I went. That was empty for like 3 weeks or a month. Completely gone. All of it. They had like some of the elbow macaroni or one of the you know, I think it was the elbow. One of those. But yeah, that was gone for like a month. And then we saw where Kroger, they didn't have any spaghetti of their, they would have some like elbow macaroni, stuff like that, but they always do. It was the thin spaghetti, the regular spaghetti, the big, even the 2-pound boxes they didn't have in eventually, because once they run out of the 1-pound boxes, that's what people are buying, which I don't understand why people don't buy the 2-pound boxes anyway. If you're paying $1.89 for a 2-pound box, that makes it less than $1 a box, $1 a pound. It's $1.34 regular price for Kroger spaghetti, unless it's on sale. Anyway, I don't want to go on too much longer here. I know this video is already pretty lengthy, but I wanted to cover all of this different information. This is the October update, October 10th, 2023, food shortage update. I feel like I'm missing one or two here, but again, we're just going to have to put it in another update video. Post your comments below. Let us know what's going on in your neck of the woods. And just, you know, if you see something, say something. You know, if you see something, say it. Usually we try to say that if it's been a week, kind of wait till your next trip. Like if it's been a week and you see like it's very low, you can still say something, right? Still say something. But again, once that second week goes by, or if you're seeing inconvenience stickers like we see at Kroger all the time, that's the time to say something. Because if something gets wiped out because it's on sale, well, that's a different thing, whether it's just not coming in. After 2 weeks, they've had 2 weeks to order that product, and it's not coming in. So that is what we're really looking for, to see which products aren't coming in. This is how we're seeing these things. I talked about carrots and mushrooms like a month ago, and here we are, people are talking about it. So it's like it hit us, right? That's why we do this, so that you have time. If you don't have it, if you could be loaded down with carrots and mushrooms, this may be coming your direction. This may be coming to your town, right? Or not coming to your town. So anyway, that is the rant for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all of our new subscribers and everyone, all of our subscribers. Thank you for being part of this. Without you, we wouldn't be able to do it. We wouldn't. We are covering massive ground on this. We will make sure that we keep you up to date on everything in and out of the stores, with everything going on, from price increases, shortages, to everything that we can do to try and help save you money, gas, any way we can save a little bit today, guys, because we are expecting a long winter here. I think after seeing what we've seen at Walmart and Meijer, I'm going to go a little more in depth at Kroger tomorrow and see what we see on some other things. Focus on the sales, but we're going to also focus on a lot of the things that you guys always talk about in the comments, to see what's going on and what these prices are, and if we can save anything on them. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.